LegacyMaker, the all sports network.
This is it. This is for all the chips. Work for championships. No, it gets no better than this. Just sit and relax a bit. We're talking the pass and blitz. We're talking the jump and swish. We're talking the pitch and miss. Clean space, kick space. You come to the right place. Beat bait. I don't need to see other shows. I'm straight. Cause they not impressing me. I tune into Legacy. Legacy. Fourth and goal and on the road. Legacy. Down 3 seconds to go. Legacy. 2 outs, bases loaded. Legacy. It's not a mystery, you're tuning to Legacy. Checkered flag on the final lap. Legacy. 12th round, who gets in the mat? Legacy. You want a legacy. You build a legacy. Broadcasting live right now so the whole world can see.
Now, the LegacyMaker Sports Podcast.
Welcome, everybody. We about to get this bad boy started.
Here are your hosts, Darrell Owens and Jay Quimby.
What it do, what it do, what it do. It is so good. It is so good to see you all here. I wish I could. I'm laughing. I wish y'all gonna see what happened pre-show. Me and Jay are still trying to get our heads wrapped around it. I think Jay's still giggling.
I'm enjoying it. I mean, it is something that you wouldn't expect.
I mean, it was. I wasn't expecting it. I really wasn't prepped for it.
It really gave. Oh man, I love your wife. I mean, it's great.
Yeah,
you get to see a whole different side of her.
Yeah, I wish that she wouldn't have hit me with that one, but you know it is what it is, and we're gonna be all right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 262 of the LegacyMaker Sports Podcast here on the LegacyMaker Sports Network. I'm your man Darrell Lawrence, of course, with me the man, myth, and the absolute legend, Mr. Jeremiah Quimby. What's up, Jay?
Not much. I'm just excited to back talking some sports.
Yes.
I mean, this Corona shit sucks.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride, but things have been looking. Well, hopefully they're looking up. But you know, the NFL starts in 3 weeks. Like that doesn't quite.
Baby.
Yeah, it doesn't seem right. I mean, I know we've had sports going, but it just.
Well, because we haven't. I mean, for us, we had that norm for the last couple of years of going to training camp. You know, being able to break down the rookie class by seeing, you know, what they're doing and stuff like that.
Right.
And right now, we're getting none of that.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing that makes it the weirdest here, because you're sitting there thinking like, oh man, when are we ever gonna get back to it? And now we're finally kind of getting, you know, back into, you know, I guess we're getting back into our groove a little bit. Hopefully, you know, we'll hear some good news down the road. We're still waiting on some other things, but football's coming. At least UVA think they're going to play, so you know, ACC and the SEC are going to play. So that's a good deal.
I really hope they do. I mean, I'm a little disappointed because I was looking forward to seeing UVA take on a couple of the Big Ten teams and stuff like that.
Yeah, they took a little bit out of us from that one.
And even the Big Ten said they're not playing at all.
Isn't that crazy?
They're moving it to spring, but now we're starting to see a lot of people that would be eligible for the draft to opt out of spring ball too.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
To go play in the NFL.
I mean, if you're going to play in the spring, what is it going to be? February about time they start?
I mean,
if they start.
Have you ever been in Ohio in February?
No.
There's still snow on the ground, bro.
Yeah, that's not going to be a good look. I mean, they might still get a little bit of winter then, so they might be all right then. They might be all right.
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. All right, y'all. So on this episode, of course, you know, by this time, me and Jay have already done we've been working on 4 days. First couple years we did 2 days, and we did 4 days the last couple years where we break down all the teams. Mm-hmm. And of course, with Corona, everything going on, we haven't had that opportunity. So today's show, it's going to be a little bit different because we're going to break down the divisions, and we're going to do the AFC first. Next week, we're going to do the NFC and getting preps for the season. So that's something that we both wanted to be able to do, and you know.
Go Bucks.
Yeah, make that happen. So it's going to be fun. But before we get, I guess, like crazy deep into that, you know, we do want to kind of go over some other stuff that's been going on. The NBA is in full swing. Yes,
swing?
They're in postseason mode. And we got, you know, Dame Lillard, who's been having a absolutely phenomenal bubble.
This has got to be the year and the time where they stop. My chair is like, you need to oil my chair.
That squeakle.
But Dame Lillard has been overlooked, not only for the fact of where he plays and what conference he plays in, but they just really, this is his What the
shoot.
hell you doing?
They just went off. They went off.
So maybe he'll actually get the respect that he deserves.
Maybe, and I look at it like this, I still see people saying, well, he's not. I got a friend, a friend of mine who swears up and down that he's garbage, and I'm like, you just hate him. I mean, let's just be honest where it is.
Well, it's like me saying I hate LeBron, but I have my own personal reasons why I don't like him.
Right, and that makes sense. And if you don't like him, then we all understand.
But I know he's a good player. That's the thing.
Right.
Damian Lillard is just lighting it up, and look, Carmelo is actually hitting big shots again.
Yeah, he looks like the Carmelo of old.
Right.
And they look primed to make noise. And they had a rough night last night. Lakers did win, but Dame Lillard went out injured. So that's going to be interesting to see if they can kind of get things going after that. I mean, it was a little bit of a bad deal for them.
Right.
You know.
Just the first game, nobody expected them to win, period. So,
right.
It's tied 1-1. I'm sure as long as the injury isn't bad, we don't have a Gordon Hayward 2.0.
Yeah, we don't need any of that. Well, Hayward's out himself, so I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
It looks, to be one of the better series that I'm interested in myself.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be a fun one because a lot of people have Portland, doing the unthinkable against some people's
eyes.
I
would love to see it, just personally.
Yeah,
because LeBron left us high and dry.
Yeah, I mean, I low key, I would like to see it too. Only because I think it would be fun to talk about.
Do you know how many friends we have mutually that are Lakers fans?
Yeah, they're going to be angry.
Yeah,
I mean, because this, and not to throw fun or whatever, but this is Kobe's. Everything happened with Kobe. Everybody fully expects the Lakers to go in there and win this one just because of that.
Does this tarnish what LeBron has done up so far in his career if he does not bring an asterisk championship this year to just represent the loss the Lakers have had?
It'll hurt him. It'll hurt him if he loses in the first round. And he doesn't. I think he has to at least make the finals. And if they lose, they got to go down battling. It can't be like.
It's got to be complete 7
games.
games.
It has to be something where he, went in there, and it's not completely his fault, but it had to be something in that range. It's the only way I can see it just being, in my opinion, I guess.
Justified.
Yeah, I mean that's the only way that I can see it in that form.
I mean, for me, I mean the loss of Kobe. And everybody in that crash was just beyond tragic.
Right.
And, I mean, I see all the time through, again, our mutual friends, the posts of, Paul Gasol spending, time with his the remaining daughters. Mm-hmm. And, stepping up, doing what, a man should do.
Yeah,
and it's impressive. It tells you that, with all this negativity and all the bad shit that's happening this year, you still see the sparkles of humanity's goodness.
Yeah, and that makes you feel good. And I'm glad that, Kobe had that effect on people where, they're there to help, Mrs. Bryant, Vanessa through those tough times. So, but that's what I'm saying. It's going to be interesting. You see other parts of the playoffs before we, keep rolling. You see the Sixers falling apart. You see Boston kind of getting their groove. Miami won last night. They're up 2-0. The Bucks actually lost that game 1 to the Magic, and then and then the Bucks said, "Well, we'll show you something in game 2. Handle business." Out west, you have the Thunder. The Thunder are down 0-2 without no Westbrook, and Harden is handling business there for the Rockets.
Great.
Yeah, we had a great first game between the Jazz and the. Oh goodness! It was the Jazz and the Nuggets. There we go. The Jazz and the Nuggets, and then the Mavs and the Clippers have been battling. So it's been a good, interesting playoff so far, Jay.
I've been disappointed in Luka Doncic. I really expected to see more floor leadership from him because I mean what he's doing so far statistically is unprecedented.
Right.
And not that he's having bad games, but I expect to. You're in the playoffs, and MJ would always, and even Kobe, would have great seasons, but then you would see him take it to that next level in the playoffs. Well, I haven't seen Luka do that.
Now, like I said, it is early. We both, this is his first playoffs, but the other part of that is, and I think, I forgot, one of our members on the network talked about it the other day, the turnovers. He had 10, 11 turnovers in that first game, and that game where they were winning, they could easily be up 2-0 against the Clippers.
Right.
So that's something that, I think as he gets a little bit, going to
see it go, but I mean that's what I'm saying. I I'm very excited to see what we can get from him. And
Mm-hmm.
even on the Celtics one, to see Jaylen Brown finally step up and
Right.
do some great things.
Yeah, this bubble thing for me is I've been saying to people I've heard other people say it's like AAU, but like the crowd noise is there, but the crowd's not really there.
Right.
So that people don't realize that home court advantage is just not the same
As what
it would normally be. And like, oh, your crowd noise is there, and it gives you a little hint of it, but it's not enough. I think we're going to see, if anything, this bubble proves like our teams are really good teams. Like, who is a really good team? This is a neutral situation.
Right.
Like, let's take the crowd out of it. So to be honest with you, this might be the most purest NBA playoffs that we see because of that.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah. So
I agree 100% with you. I mean, the Celtics losing, Captain, I can't,
I can't stay healthy.
I got weak ankles, bro.
Captain, I can't stay healthy. That's crazy.
Just back and forth things, and you just really, I mean, you're right, and you're getting to see a lot of unknowns coming off the bench and making their mark in the league too.
Yeah, and that's what you want for the league. Frank Mason, we talked about it a little bit earlier. He's shined for the Bucks in his time ever since winning the D League and the G League.
Who knows?
MVP.
A dude as small as me could actually play in the NBA.
He's out there hustling, man. So that's a good deal to see. But now before we like I said, before we hit our breakdowns on the on AFC and all that good stuff, let's head to Major League Baseball. Baseball has had a rocky road. Now the last show we had was right before the season started, so it was the night of the night that the season started. Jay, it has been crazy. Like,
that's an understatement.
I mean, we've had 2 teams shut down because of coronavirus.
Yeah,
they had to take like a whole week and a half off.
No, the Mets is the newest one because they were supposed to do the Subway Series.
Yeah, I saw that, and then now that's canceled.
That's canceled. Yep.
Well, come on, guys. like, what's going on?
Well, they got the bubble, air quotes, that's what we're saying. But,
right.
the NBA's been really good about it so far, but you haven't seen that type of lockdown yet in with the Major League Baseball players.
Right.
So it makes you wonder, is it the cleanliness of the way where they're staying, because you rotate every 3-4 games where you're at. But then is it there's so many different variables to take in on this. Yeah,
and I see the same thing. That's the thing that kind of blows my mind a little bit because I'll sit there and look at it and say, well, look, the NBA's doing a phenomenal. Even hockey. Like, hockey and NBA, you haven't heard anything about coronavirus coming from those bubbles.
But, okay.
Now, they are in Canada, too.
I was going to say.
They are in Canada, too.
Hockey being up there, they're on lockdown. I mean, Steven Daniels from our network, that he was within like 50 feet of a person that got tested positive for it, and they put him in lockdown for 14 days.
You will be shut down.
Well, they're taking the precautions.
They're taking it serious.
Exactly. And,
maybe some other people should take it seriously. I'm just saying. I like to get back to normal. I don't know about you.
Well, shout out to my oldest one. We're getting ready to take her up to college tomorrow. But I had a nice breakfast with her this morning.
Before she set you up.
Well, yeah, she did set me up, but we won't talk about that. That was a shitty situation.
Fact City.
But she, was talking to her, and she's like, I won't be surprised if I'm back home in 2 weeks. Because the way everything's starting, some of the other schools have already started. Right. And we've seen it here just in Richmond. VCU's had 25 students / faculty test positive for it.
That's crazy.
Because the kids are not taking it seriously. They're partying and doing stuff. And, I pray that, my daughter has a very straight and narrow head and understanding. And I just want to make sure that she keeps herself safe.
Well, I saw a video earlier that had me blown away because it was like these kids and they're out there and they're like, man, after the coronavirus, man, nobody in masks, they hugging us and they're at the beach. That beach was crowded. Like, it was crazy. I don't even know where they were at. My guess would be Florida. My guess would be Florida.
Florida, where they just released the 750 million genetically engineered mosquitoes.
Oh,
did you hear about that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, they did that.
I don't need super skeeters out here.
Because the super skeeter doesn't transmit certain diseases. That's why they did it.
Oh, my God.
So they can come up with all new ones.
Yeah, that sounds great. I'm excited about that. I know you are.
Oh,
yeah.
No, not at all.
hopefully we can get back to some normalcy. But like I said, we just got
2020 is just 2020. We got, for the first time since 1851, we have 2 hurricanes in the Gulf of Mexico.
I saw that.
That's crazy.
Boy, 2020 just has its own. I tell you what, man. I think if
this ain't fucking Jumanji, I don't know what it is.
I think if 2020 was a terrorist, it'd definitely be Osama bin Laden. That's top notch.
I don't know if you can make that a comparison, but
I don't know, man. We're talking about big time stuff here.
But I saw something that was very devastating at that time when that happened. But at the same time, it brought us together as a country.
It did.
All the shit that's going on, we have never been more divided.
I know, and I think that's probably what makes me the saddest. You know, we look at everything now and like, you don't know how to respond to people.
Right.
You don't know if what you say is going to trigger somebody just like that. So you kind of got to be like,
say hi to somebody
and they can go off.
You know, I'm always holding doors for people. That's the way I was raised. Held a door for some lady. And she's like, "No, you go." And I was just like, "Really? Oh,
yeah,
you know what? How about I trip you with my cane, lady?"
Yeah, I saw. I had I work. With the public at the DMV, and a guy comes up and I say, "Hey, sir, you gotta have your mask on." I got the greatest deaf look in history. I thought it was over for me. I'm just gonna be honest with you. He looked at me like he's like, "Who do you think you are?" I'm like, "Okay, all right, that's enough."
Take his picture and if anything happens to you, I got you. You know that.
I already know this. So we're gonna be all right anyway. We're gonna be all right. All right, y'all. Now, like I said, the next couple of episodes.
Major League Baseball, though. Did you see the home run?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Last night?
Which one?
The one where he
Tatis?
No, not Tatis. But I can't remember exactly the game. Dude hit a home run. It hit one of those giant teddy bears in the head. And just kind of that, like
the posters?
No, it was they had real life stuffed giant teddy bears in the stand along with the posters, and it hit that in the head and it just like leaned back and come back and was just like, and it took it like a champ.
That's miserable. That's absolutely miserable.
No, it was great, bro.
That's hilarious. It's like that one when I forgot what game it was. It's like early and the Mets were playing.
Is that when he threw the ball to the?
No, the Mets were playing the Braves and he hit the home run and it smacked off of. One of the Mets players' dog poster was in the outfield, and it hit the dog. It hit the dog, and the dog just kind of left to the side. I was like, "Oh man,
you just killed Fluffy!
You just killed Fluffy, man. What is that?"
That's not cool.
But I mean, baseball itself has just been interesting this time around. The Red Sox are falling apart.
I love it.
Red Sox are falling apart. The Yankees look strong, but they can't stay healthy. The Dodgers are the Dodgers. And Padres look good.
I said this from the beginning. We are going to see the most uptick in knee and ankle injuries in every sport there is because they're not getting that extra time to build up the tendon strength. Right. And we are seeing unprecedented amounts.
It's crazy stuff. It's crazy stuff, So hopefully everybody can get things together, but I guess we will see, sooner or later on how, that'll work out.
How about those Mariners?
We're not gonna talk about them because I told you know my law, man. Because man, every time we talk about them, bad things happen. Like every time I say something positive about this team, bad things happen. Never fails whatsoever. Last time doing the news update. Oh man, the Mariners are like, well, I don't know. They're 4-4, first place. That's all I said. They're 4-4 and first place in the AL West. That's a nice little surprise. That is all I said. Next thing you know, they lose 40 in a row. I was like, bruh, this is crazy. Like, why do you do this to me? I can't. I don't know.
Okay, next question on this. Just throwing it out there. Jose Altuve.
Yeah.
Do you think now that they're on to the trash can thing, and he is batting like
1-7 or something like that? Yeah.
This is gonna put something on the rest of all that greatness he had beforehand?
Yeah, I think it does. I think it hurts him because it's just like let's be honest with you, it's like Bonds and Clemens, except for it's just different. Like you flip the reversal because now like Bonds and Clemens still had productive years and all that stuff, but everybody knew that they were using in that later part, and people forget about that later part. And I think it's kind of got that same feel to it.
I agree because for me with Bonds, he did all that shit. We know he did it.
Right.
But it still didn't make him hit the ball.
No, it didn't.
He still had the eye to hand coordination to do what he did. I'll never take that away. But, of course, he probably broke the home run record because of it, because
That's true.
a double was actually a home run for him.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy stuff, man. Like, watching Bond, I'm not going to lie to you, though. It was entertaining.
Oh.
It was definitely entertaining, even though because he was still going through the cloud of suspicion during that time.
Yep.
And that's something that like McGuire and Sosa, those guys didn't have to deal when they were going on their home run sprees.
Right.
They didn't have that. He had to deal with that the whole time.
But Sosa did have the cork bat thing. Remember?
He did. That started his downfall.
It did.
Like that cork bat thing, and that from that point on, he became, and I'm not trying to be funny, but he's your color now. Like he had like situations going on. His his whole life
the
just
little Kim syndrome.
yeah, his whole life is turned around. People say now I don't know. Some say he had vitiligo like Michael Jackson, and then some say that he bleached his skin. I don't know. I'm not here to judge. I just know that cork bat came out, that jank broke,
And
he wasn't the same person.
Exactly.
He wasn't the same person.
It changed everything about him.
And that's, but like I said, baseball is going to be interesting on this stretch. I'm intrigued to see if the Dodgers can, make things happen. But I love what I see from the Padres.
August 31st, trade deadline. I'm looking so forward to that because there's so much. The free agent class that could be is astronomical, compared to what we've seen in the last couple of years, because you got Francisco Lindor, Chris Bryant is coming up on there. The Cubs, I hate the Cubs because in 2016 that should have been when the Indians
it should have been your ring. It should have been
anyways,
your ring.
Then they're looking great. There's so many things. The Braves are looking phenomenal. The Braves on the DL and are the team I'm rooting for in that NL.
I see, and that's something that I want to see too. Like I want to see I want to see if the Braves can make things happen, because if you look at, they're very talented all the way across.
Yes.
They're very talented all the way across, and I want to see if they would be able to, to make that thing grow.
And the last time they were this good was the last time that they had Chipper Jones on a team.
Man, that's true too. It's been a while.
It's been a hot minute.
It's been a hot minute.
Yep.
It's been a real hot minute. All right, so now let's head to what we came here. One of the big things we came here to do today, me and Jay breaking down the AFC and giving you our division picks, giving you our playoff predictions in the AFC. Jay, I'm excited about this because and it's a little bit different than what we normally do, because like you said, we normally are doing 2-a-days now, and we're getting set for that. And unfortunately, that's not what we're doing this time around, but it's all good.
It's beautiful.
It's all good. But let's get this thing started off, and I guess we start off with the AFC North. The AFC North has been a very interesting division the last couple of years. Some teams that were in the mix for a while, then they start to fall off. I don't know.
Are those replays?
Yeah, we got a replay going on behind us.
I look so.
You look like, where's LA when you need them to say that you look like a beefcake or something like that?
Leave me alone.
Because it's coming. It's coming at some point.
I love
it's coming at some point.
I love LA.
So let's talk AFC. AFC North. This division, in my opinion, is I want to say it's a two-way race. It could be a three.
I know. I agree with you 100% with your first set of.
It's a two-way race, in my opinion. And I would. It's tough though, because I want to put the Browns in that race, but I don't trust the organization as an organization, if that makes any sense. I don't trust them as an organization. Like I want to trust them as an organization, but I just can't, Jay.
Why? Why can't you trust them?
Because you can't get any stability. They can't keep it seems like they can't keep that person there. Like they've always been trying to keep a person. They just can't. It's hard to watch at times.
I think we have varying opinions, because if I think who you have as your number two, mine is going to be completely different.
Completely different. So I guess we start that way,
because
then.
I almost guarantee our number one in the AFC North is going to be the Ravens, hands down.
I probably agree with that. I mean, so I'll let you go first, Jay. Give us your
What's up, Bruce? Bruce?
Yeah. Bruce in the building. What up, Bruce? What up, brother?
So I got the Ravens at 1.
All right, so you got the Ravens at number 1.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Browns at number 2. And I know everybody's like, oh, it's the Browns, but I have a good reason in this. Steelers at 3, and the Bengals are at 4. And I know the Bengals got Joe Burrow and AJ Green and all this. I just don't see a cohesive leader starting from the coach down. Like Zach Taylor is a great quarterback guru, but that's it. You got to be more than that to be a head coach.
I mean, and I can give you that because I feel like if you're looking at this team, and then you say to yourself like, all right, so what are you looking for? The Bengals in my mind are a complete redo over. They're just doing everything over. And they've Burrow's a good start in my opinion. I think he's got that toughness. I think he's got that mentality that he could as a quarterback that they're going to need in the future. So I will give him that much credit on that.
I can't wait to see him just.
Yeah,
suck.
I mean,
I know what I saw when I watched him in the spring games when him and Haskins were going back and forth, and I see just a very egotistical kid that thinks his shit don't stink. And you want to have confidence, be a good leader, but you got to be able to back that up too. But you can't walk in as the number 1 overall draft pick, thinking you're all that.
I can see
even
that.
Big Ben, his first year, first couple days or games was on the bench, and he was good with it. He came in and did his thing. He let his play talk before he opened his mouth. Now he just all mouth. But
yeah. So all right. So your rankings, you got Ravens, Browns, Steelers, and then you have the Bengals finishing 4th. Correct?
I see Bruce has Ravens, Browns, Pitt, and Bengals. Yeah, they are. The whole reason the Steelers for me, there's one trade that they need to pull off, and I will move the Steelers ahead of the Browns. And I need to see them go, and they already have this repertoire built up with the Dolphins because they got Minkah Fitzpatrick. I need to see them go get Josh Rosen.
Really?
Because the 2 guys they have behind Roethlisberger and his tendonitis elbow suck.
And I'm intrigued. I think.
Well, Rosen was a top 10 pick for
he
a
was,
reason.
and it seems like he's getting the Jason Campbell treatment in my opinion. Because if you remember Jason Campbell, Jason Campbell, I felt like really never got a fair shake. Like he was in Washington, he was starting to get things going, and he gets traded to Cleveland. He was in Cleveland, he was in Oakland. Every time he started doing well there, it just seems like
his trade value went up and he got shipped.
And he got shipped. Or he ended up going to his other team, but I felt like he never got a fair shake.
Exactly.
That's the vibe that I get from Rosen. I feel like he's like.
Well, Rosen was picked by the Cardinals, and then they went ahead and got their coach, and their coach's quarterback they took number 1.
Yeah, right.
And so they sent him to the Dolphins. Well, then the Dolphins tank for Tua campaign worked out for him
Phenomenally, and they didn't even have to trade up. Go figure.
Exactly. But Rosen has never been given the shot. If he comes out and gets to the Steelers and can sit behind Ben, learn, watch, and the weapons they got there. Smith-Schuster, Washington's come on.
Right.
They got Clay Chasepool. Plus Connor can stay healthy. They've got a great O-line. That defense is young and full of studs.
Right. They have and that's the thing that has me. That's why I have them. That's why I have the Steelers at number 2. I got Ravens 1, obviously. I mean, the only thing that scares me about the Ravens, Jay, is I do not trust their receiver core. And I feel like, yes, they can run all day. But I made this comparison last year, and it still makes sense to me now. And I'll tie it back. When remember the year that Cam went to the Super Bowl?
Yep.
I remember that year. We knew that they were going to be a top running team, and they were. They were the best team rushing the football, hands down. They make it to the Super Bowl, and then the following year they have a setback because people start to see, just a little bit of a setback because he didn't have anybody to pass ball to, other than Olsen. Well, guess what? You fast forward to now, and you're getting the exact same thing from. I think you have the potential to have the same thing from.
Des Bryant has a tryout today, so you never know.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's my thing. Like, all right, so his receiving core is just not. I mean, Hollywood Brown was hurt, on and off last year, so we didn't get a chance to truly see. We saw the hints of it. We didn't get to truly see what he could be. That makes me a little bit, weary because of that.
They got interesting because they put a lot on Ingram.
Right, they did.
And then in the second round, they got J.K. Dobbins.
I love the Dobbins pick. I mean, their first 2 picks were great. I mean, you got Patrick Queen. You got Patrick Queen, so you got a middle linebacker there who can come in there and just, to go along with the, other studs they got at that linebacker position. The Ravens, all they do is retool on defense. And then, they go and pick Dobbins, which, I think I had Dobbins going to Kansas City. And, they went with LSU running back, but I had him going to Kansas City. So I look and say, okay, that's not bad,
Now, but see, the concern for me with Dobbins is I watch my Ohio State like there's no tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
There was at least 4 drop touchdown passes to him. He doesn't have the surest hands. That has to be his number one focal point along with learning the playbook, because that's the way they really run this system. Is a lot of screens. So he's got to be able to catch the ball.
Right.
So,
yeah, I mean, I like what they have, like running again this year, and this brings me back to my comparison. I think they're going to be able to run the football phenomenally, but I think what's going to hurt them is, you're going to be one-dimensional. And yes, Lamar himself is going to still make things happen. I need that next level.
Tight ends still.
They do. I mean, I'm not gonna trash the tight ends. No, you go, brother. I'm not gonna trash their tight ends. I think they have really solid tight, and they drafted a tight end, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So they'll be fine on certain fronts. I hope that he gets that extra receiver. But for me, I got it. Ravens, Steelers. I think their defense is going to prove worthy. The Browns. I want to put the Browns at 2. I just don't trust the organization as a whole. And then at number 4, obviously the Bengals. But the Bengals are a couple of years away.
But see, for me, for the Browns, the one thing that they've been missing is when Joe Thomas retired.
Right.
They have not been able to replace him. And when they went and got Willis, I had him and Wirfs as my top 2 tackles in this class.
Right.
And Willis could be a great left tackle for him.
I like the pick, but
They're going to start him on the right side.
This was a strong, those first couple of picks were very strong. I mean, I felt like those teams that got those offensive linemen, when they got them, Thomas's, the Wirfs, those guys.
Did you see the Tristan Wirf jumping out of the damn pool?
Yeah, that's talent. I mean, that's stupid. Let's be honest. I mean, for him to be able to do that is beyond crazy. I was sitting there looking at it. I'm like, whoa, man. I wish I had the ability, but I know better, and I'm not even going to put myself in that position.
I can barely use the damn ladder.
So those are selections there for the AFC North. Now let's go to the AFC East. Now the East obviously consists of. This is different. This is different for us because there's no Thomas Brady in the AFC East for the first time since 2001. So he's with another team now. I believe they rock pewter. But we'll talk about that next week. But we do. Please, baby Jesus. So we got a very interesting one this time around because obviously the Patriots. To me, I had the Patriots until I saw the signing of Cam. That changed things a little bit for me. But
I agree with you on that 100%. It really did for me also because Cam's got that chip on the shoulder because nobody wanted to get him, and they were at they're signing these like almost 40 plus year old quarterbacks to $25 million guaranteed. He went to the Pats for like 1.7.
He's got something to prove. he's got something to prove.
He's really pissed off, and the dink and dunk offense that they run there, I think that him and Belichick's understanding, they're going to win games.
I think they'll be fine. So, but let's ask you this. So, Jay, give us your AFC East predictions.
Well, once again, I was with you on. I actually had the Patriots at 3. The Bills addressed a couple needs because they were who I had at 1, but I actually put the Pats at 1, Bills 2, Dolphins at 3, and sorry Jets fans or any of the Jets people from the organization, Adam Gase is not the answer.
I knew that
His drug dealer is slipping him some bad shit.
I knew that the moment we had that press conference and he did one of these. That still hasn't been explained.
Them eyes are
until I get an explanation on what was going on there, Jay. I don't know how to feel about that. So
Bruce says Buffalo, Pats, Jets, Dolphins.
These are Buffalo, Pats, Jets, Dolphins.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll give you mines, and on mines I got the Bills number one. This is Josh Allen's time to shine. Like this, if you look at it,
And they got
in most people's eyes, he's the best quarterback in this division right now. And that's not a slap at Cam, but Cam's on a redemption tour right now. He's got
he's
he's
got to prove it.
right. He's reproving himself. But I look at this division. I said, this is Josh Allen. He's the man right now in that
You
division.
saw him take great strides last year.
Yes. The biggest thing for him was his receiving core, which they improved with Stephon Diggs. And I said, okay, you get Stephon Diggs in there. If he's focused, and you got two guys who did phenomenal last year, and Cole Beasley, who had a great season last year, along with John Brown, who came out of nowhere for this. I mean, he had decent before, but he came out of nowhere. People don't have John Brown. Well, okay. So you bring that. The one thing on offense that hurts them, in my opinion, is the tight end position. They're not solid there.
Yeah, Knox is not the greatest tight end to have. I really thought you would have saw because there was plenty of tight ends late. Even Thaddeus Moss went undrafted, and they didn't address that. I agree with you 100% because that is actually Allen's safety blanket.
Right.
Devin Singletary had a great year last year.
He did.
So yeah, I agree 100% with that.
And then they got Zach Moss in the draft. So I think, and defensively, I got to give McDermott credit. I didn't know when he was going to be hired he would be, but they signed him to an extension. Seems like he's the right guy in Buffalo.
Yes.
They just got to work on Allen's short ability. I got the Pats at 2, and I got the Pats at 2 for this reason. Cam. I mean, if it wasn't for Cam, I'd have him at 3.
Especially because half their team opted out of the 2020 season.
Facts. So there was a Hightower or Chung. There's a couple of them. Like there's some names.
The McCourty twins are out.
I think both McCourty twins were like, nah, bro, we got things to do.
So that's that's 3 out of their 4 secondary players.
Right. So you lose all of that. Going into the season. So that it's still kind of shaky, but Bill Belichick is Bill Belichick. So he's going to find a way to win with this team. Third, I got the Dolphins. I think Fitzmagic is Fitzmagic. I think Fitzmagic is going to find a way to, get things going until Tua comes in.
I was going to say, how long does the beard play for before Tua comes in? Because Tua, since that hip injury, he's been cleared to play.
Yeah, I saw him out there throwing a little bit, and I think that he'll be out there at least half of the season.
Okay.
I mean, it all really depends on how well he performs. I mean, obviously, but if he's out there and they're middle